Hello, self-employed blog. Welcome to November. This is the first one of the month. I'm just driving back from Weymouth now. We've been at the solar farm. I would have alluded to that in the last self-employed video, and probably by the time you're watching this, I will have released some videos on the work I've been doing there. Some cable joints and some crimping ones I put out. A bit more informative. One's a bit informative about crimping gear, and one's about just the job. Well, I don't know. Say that. I ain't edited yet, but I think it's going to be like a time lapse. I'm pushing myself more now on. I'm pushing myself more now on the videographer. From next year, I'm not doing weekly videos. I'm still trying to do educational content, but I'm not going to push myself to do weekly videos. I'm just going to put videos out that I like. Phew, it's just an ambulance. I've really got into doing videos, so that's where we're at. Right. I've done a video a week for a year, and I did that to learn how to use software. Not just to learn how to use the video editing software, but learn what shots I need and all that kind of thing. Funnily enough, if you're fucking clever, or if you're very alert and astute, you'll notice that in that blog last month, the length of a beard changes, but not in the timeline. That's because I do things called makeup shots. So I'll go back and I'll add a bit in. So one shot on that video, for example, I'm going, oh, I've just got here on this first day. That was not recorded on the first day at all. That was recorded on one of the last days, because it makes the video flow through better for the use. So I've learned a lot about how to do shots, how to set things up, how to edit the video, how to make a story. I quite enjoyed it. Next year, I want to go into making some videos that I've always wanted to make. A bit like the Save for September one I did, which basically was a video that was a year old that I didn't have the skills to edit. So anyway, I'm getting somewhere, don't worry. Or am I? I don't know if I am. I've made myself do a video a week, not because I want to be big on YouTube or want to make money out of anything like that, but just because I want to improve my skills, and I improve my skills by doing it. And adding the time constraint really helps. You've got to put a video out every Friday night with what material you've got, no matter what. And that time constraint really forces you to do stuff. So we'll talk a bit about that, yeah? Let's talk about not being a fucking useless fat wanker of a Sparky or indeed any tradesman. I remember once I wanted to learn AutoCAD. So I may have allegedly, I did a little pause there so I could zoom in. See, that's what I've learned. I may have allegedly gone onto the internet, onto a media site, a selling site, and bought a dodgy copy of AutoCAD. And I got it working on my computer, and I procrastinated with it and fucked around with it and diggled around with it. Didn't do much. And then one week I was like, fucking hell, man. I can't draw in AutoCAD. So what I did was, I got two laptops, one with AutoCAD on, one with YouTube on. I remember putting them on my kitchen side. I was single at the time, so I had loads of spare time in the evenings. You know, between wanking, eating quavers, going to the pub, getting pissed and doing drugs. And I just sat there and I watched videos on YouTube. Now, not a lot of the videos on YouTube about AutoCAD are about drawing electrically. They're about drawing mechanically or drawing architecturally. But anyway, I got a load of existing drawings, and I sat there every night for a fucking week, and I fucking learned AutoCAD. Right? Every fucking night I was like, how do you do this? How do you do that? Googling it. How do I draw a line, then put a line there that's 50 centimetres away? It's called offsetting, by the way. And I just fucking sat there for a week. And after that week, I wouldn't say I haven't mastered AutoCAD by a long shot, but I can draw in it. Yeah? But then I get people come to going, oh, I do what you do, blah, blah, blah. There's fucking no shortcuts, lads and ladies. You've got to put the fucking effort in, you've got to put the fucking time in. That's a fact. And I thought I'd just mention on this blog, yeah? If you want to learn how to do something to a fucking high standard, you need to practice it for fucking till you get to the high standard, which I'm still doing with AutoCAD. In fact, I'd still like to sit there for another week and learn AutoCAD. There are no fucking shortcuts. And then I did it the other week now. I just got it with Premiere Pro. I'm like, a blog I did I think the last blog I did, I got all the footage and the footage was right. And I'd numbered it all. So on every video I do this, you won't see this, but I might put it in here. I'll go, self-employed blog, 2nd November, which I've said before this video. So that means my workflow's better. Anyway, I edited the video in about half an hour. It's about half an hour long, which means to me, I'm at a much higher standard now of editing. So I can now try and take on more challenging projects. So from next year, I'm going to do some videos. Well, I'm not going to do a video every week next year. I'm just going to do some videos I want to do. Anyhow, that's a fact. Yeah, electrical O&M's the next one. That's the one I'm going to hit. I'm getting a bit of a buzz back. We had a little boy 2 years ago, and it's took up a lot of my time. Not as much as my missus' time though. And he's grown up a bit. We're getting a bit more established. Self-employed was going well, and I thought, well, hang on a minute. I need to kick back into learning. Yeah, I've been a bit lazy with the old learning. I've been putting a lot of videos out there, but I've not been learning. So this year, or to finish this year off the tax year, electrical O&M, I'd like to get to a high standard of that, not master it, but get to a high standard. I've had offers from people to help me out with that as well, which is great, thank you very much. And also, just get back in the TA, that's another thing I'm gonna do this year. And just doing that, but yeah, just the main point is, no fucking shortcuts. Like, I've been working this week with my old apprentice, who works to an extremely high standard. So much of a high standard that he's picked me up and told me to do a few bits differently this week, which I respect, but general rule is, there's no fucking shortcuts. That's what I'm doing. Maybe this video will just be dog shit now, which disproves the whole point. But yeah, just driving back. It's the 2nd November. What's coming up this month? Loads of training this month. I think I've got about 10 days of training going off out of the 10 weeks of that I like to do a year. Still waiting for a PO on a job, although I hear it's very, very close, which is going to turn to a bit of a whirlwind of a job. There's a few irons in the fire with other jobs I'm waiting for. But generally this month, I don't need to worry about it. December's a bit quiet, but I'm expecting that to change. And we'll see where we go. But welcome to November. Hope that weren't too fucking boring, you 6 minutes of me at the camera. And we'll see what happens this month. See you in a bit. Hang on a minute, I got so weighed up in the fucking thing, I forgot to say, I was going to say, yeah, the most powerful person in your career is you. You! Right, people who ask me all the time, how do I get to what you're doing, how do I do what you do? I see other YouTube mentions, I watched a joint every the other night, he says, oh, people always ask me how to get to jointing, yeah? That's your fucking job. There's no point hanging around like some fucking bellend thinking stuff's going to come to you on a plate. It's fucking not. There ain't no fucking free dinners. Every now and again, you get lucky, you're in the right place at the fucking right time. I put a video out about crimping equipment, yeah, for my knowledge to get out there, trying to share that knowledge. There's no point saying, let's use the jointing one, for an example, jointing, crimping, terminating, as an example, yeah? There's no point wanting to do that, or just fucking wanting to do that, is there? There's no point wanting to be able to edit videos or use AutoCAD and just sitting there for your entire life lingering about wanting to do it. The only person that's going to get you there to do it is you, yeah? By any means necessary, don't kill anyone, don't hurt anyone, don't rob anyone. But if you want to use AutoCAD and you can't afford it, because probably most you can't, go on eBay, buy an old copy of it, you know what I mean? An old copy of it, yeah? If you want to use some fucking software, a lot of software has subscriptions and they have student versions. If you want to learn about motors and controls, I've got loads of videos on it, but I'm afraid even this week I've reread the book that I showed, this one, in my thing. I reread that book, just the thing. I've been speaking to a guy off YouTube called 3 Phase, who's got an excellent YouTube channel, it's here, yeah? Because he fucking seems to know all about motors. I was like, I wonder if he'd spare me a bit of time to tell me about motors, and he did. He said, I've contacted him by email, I'm hoping to work with him on some video stuff, because he's very knowledgeable about it, yeah? But you had to go fucking forward. There's thousands of PDFs out there. I'm just doing a video on emergency stops, and I've realised that I've had to read about 20 PDFs from various different manufacturers and sources just to make sure I've got the right knowledge to write a script or work out what we're doing on that, yeah? So if you sat there thinking, oh, I wish I was a better Sparky, it's probably your fault, you've just been a lazy cunt. You need to know more, because when you go for an interview or talk to someone that does what you want to do, if you are keen and interested outside of your normal working hours, as in you're fucking reading more about it, it shows a mile. I spoke to a guy down here at this solar farm this week. He does HV protection. Now, I don't know a lot about HV protection schemes, but I know enough to manage it. And when I went in a chit chat to him, he just oozed knowledge, yeah? He just, the way we had just a normal conversation about, I explained a job I had, and then he told me what he'd previously done, and just had a conversation. I just got from him all the right vibes that he knew what he was doing. If you want to be, I don't know, a fucking florist, let's take a completely random example, and you just go, I want to be a florist, and you meet a florist who might be looking for someone to employ him, and all you've got is, I want to be a florist, but you don't know fuck all about anything else, they're going to think, wants to be a florist, but can't be arsed. If you're banging about different arrangements for fucking let's think about it. There must be funerals and good ones and weddings and different types of flowers and seasonal things and all that. If you start oozing all that knowledge that you've learned off your own back, they're going to be like, this guy's infectious, this guy is guy or girl, you know what I mean? This guy has obviously been reading up on it. If you aren't doing a job but you've read up on it and you know about it, you are more likely to fucking, when you meet someone that does that job, make a much better impression on them, and they are going to fucking maybe offer you a job over the fact that you just want to do something. When I was younger, I wanted to be a train driver. That was the extent of what I did. Yeah, some people want to be pilots, and that's the extent of what they think. But if you're talking to a pilot and they go, you're on about, I don't know, altitudes and all that, or fucking all the bits and bobs, they'll be like, oh, he's that interested, or she, that he's actually fucking reading books. So just be aware, yeah? Don't sit there being a fanny hoping the world's going to come to an play, because I fucking assure you, in my experience of 32 years in the trade, yeah, it's fucking not. Although you might get lucky, but it's like people that want to be footballers, isn't it? You see some 16-year-old lad wants to be a professional footballer, you've got to take the fact and just go, someone needs to say to him, mate, if you was going to be a professional footballer, you'd be one by now. You need to fuck it off and to move on to something else. That's not probably through lack of effort, that's just the fucking not being in the right place at the right time. But if you want to do a job that's got a lot of engineering, maths, reading behind it, and you haven't done that engineering, reading, all that shit, you ain't going fucking nowhere anytime soon, because you are not, when you meet a person that's got the interest you've got, or does the interest you want, you won't be able to converse with them, and they'll just think, oh, you useless, soggy, fat wanker. That's now 10 minutes of me talking shit. Hey, self-employed blog, it is the 5th of November. It's bonfire night, isn't it? I'm going to set this shit on fire. Anyway, I'm in the office. I've had a couple of days off. I've got that from the thing here. A couple of days off. What a load of shit. You don't have days off. I'm not going to edit that out. I'm just going to put them BP cards here while I get going again. Anyway, I've had a couple of days in the office. No, that's a lie. I've had a couple of days in the office. I've been out on the road. So I've been and bought some fucking AdBlue this morning, got myself an haircut, went and got a load of parts, and went down to my wholesaler's TLA Nottingham to inspect some bits because I want to physically touch them with my hands. I've got a job, which I'm going to be referring to on this blog as the metering job. So as to not reveal, not for my benefit, not reveal the customer or the end customer. It's going to be called the metering job. And on this blog, I'm going to take you through the metering job. So the metering job got quoted some months ago, and it's to do fit energy metering on some solar panels that are fitted on some warehouse roofs. Anyhow, yesterday, there's a little bit of back and forth and stuff like that, just to establish stuff, but yesterday the PO come through. It is for a substantial amount of money. It's in excess of the average wage for an electrician for a year. Obviously, it's parts like that, but I'm not going to tell you the exact figure, but it's a substantial amount of cash. It's an email. So, it needs doing by the early March. It needs doing by. So, what I'm going to take on the journey is, right, it's not hard. It's not hard work. And by that, I mean the physical labour required is not hard. The fitting of the meters is not hard. The networking them up is a little bit difficult, and the technical requirements are quite onerous. And the fact I've got to go around various sites around the country is quite hard. What's hard is, and what the people struggle with is, and this is the business blog. It's not. You'll see me do electrical work on the electrical side of this channel. This is the blog side. So what I'm going to take you through is now, when I refer to it, which I'm going to refer to it a lot, because I'm doing it a lot, I'm going to incorporate this blog. When I refer to the metering job, we'll be doing the metering job. You'll probably never see me on this blog fitting meters, but it's an infrastructure exercise and a, oh fucking hell, what's the other word? It's an infrastructure. I'm fucking put them cards there now. Logistics. It's a logistics exercise. So, I've now received a PO. I now need to get a folder like this, and I'll create a folder for the job, because I'm old school, yeah? It's like to touch stuff. I'll get all the instructions for the meters, all the gubbins, all the technical details, and I'll start producing a spreadsheet on the actual computer about each site, its requirements, and all that kind of stuff. First of all, the timescale's a lot tighter than we thought. I was planning just to go to every site and make them up on site. However, because the timescale's so tight now, it requires me to make kits up, which I was sort of going to do anyway. There'd be a kit of bits. But now I need them to get them kits as finished off as they could possibly be, which entails I will now be visiting the sites before I go and do the job. It probably won't make me any more money, probably won't lose any money, but rather than spend maybe 3 days on a site, if I go and visit it, I'll spend 2, because I'll pre-make the stuff off-site. There's quite a bit of money involved with the off-site preparation stuff. So it's 3 of one, 4 of one, 2 of the other. I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? It's neither here nor there. I happen to be down in London anyway soon, so I'm just going to email the customer and arrange to go and visit 3 of the sites that are near London. So that's going off. As part of that infrastructure, and the word I keep forgetting, someone's going to tell me. Oh, for fuck's sake. Infrastructure and logistics, that's the one. I'm in the office and I'm getting all the banking done. I'm getting all my accounts done up to today. Everything's going today. The credit card stuff's going to get everything tied up. So I'm going to tie this office up immensely today. That might not seem like it's part of that job, but it is, because I want these desks clear so I can start producing the paperwork, the drawings, the technical bump required to deliver this task. The PO came yesterday, so we're on D+1. This is the first day of the job. And the only thing that's going to get done for the job is a couple of phone calls, a little bit of prep, a little bit of jiggery pokery, but mainly clearing the desk off and getting the desk neat, because there's going to be a lot of shit coming through here. I'm going to order 4 of the meters today, just so I've got them physically in my hand. I've been in inspection of the box and stuff I want. Just going to start finalising how they all fit together, or I think they're going to fit together. Order all the stuff that will be common between all 60 meters. I think there's something like 60. I can't remember how many there is. I think there might be 60 meters, but I'm going to order stuff that's all going to be common between them. But first of all, I'm doing a test site, which will involve me. There's 4 meters on that site. I'm going to build those up into a prototype setup, go and fit it, check everything's okay, and then roll it out. Because I think there's 6 or 7 sites spread around the UK with between 4 and 15 meters on each one. So I'm going to prototype it. And my crack is that I've given a price per meter. I will not make money on the early ones, the first 4, but as I get towards the end, I'll probably make more money. So it all balance out back into that cost I've got in the end. So yeah, that's where I'm at. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to get this paperwork tied up, get the office set up for this job, because it's like 3 months of work for me. It'll just be, there'll be 3 months of that basically, as well as a few other bits and bobs and so on. So yeah, that's right. So if you refer to a metering job, welcome to metering job, day 1. Self-employed blog. Just dropped the kids off at nursery. I've not that. I don't mean I've been for a shit. I've literally just been to drop the kids off at nursery. What's going off? It's the 14th of November. Not a lot's changed. Not a lot's going off this month. It's quite a quiet month, November, in the world of work and business. I'm just doing loads of fucking admin, keeping on top of everything. What is happening is, try to diversify a bit. If you saw the podcast, but it could be rough next year. Well, I thought that a while ago, and I've been diversifying into the training, because I can electrical, I can design, I can do all sorts of this electrical stuff that you see me doing on here, yeah? But I also do the training and the teaching. And I've not been in FE for a while because I haven't reasons. But I'm thinking about going back into that, or doing a bit of it. So I think I've managed to get a 1-day-a-week job in a FE college. Mechatronics, which is the machinery you see me working on, automated machinery in that, becoming more of a college course, and someone wanted a 1-day mechatronics teacher, along with like management and development of businesses and all that kind of stuff. I was like, that sounds right on my fucking street, that does. It was mechatronics PLCs at level 4, which is low level for, it's enough that I can teach. I'm not a PLC expert yet, but it's enough that I can do it. And I was like, oh, go for it, I'll give them a ring, might be involved in nights travelling or something like that. It's in fucking Nottingham, what the fuck? So I had an interview for that yesterday. They pretty much said, yeah, do you want it? So that's every Monday in term time, which might become a pain in the cunt, I don't know, but got to diversify. It might become a pain in the cunt for the work, blah, 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 blah. However, what I've got to always appreciate is that I need to go out and diversify. And if you don't go and do it, you won't diversify. So you're stuck the night. So I'm doing that. So that's going off. I'm just going around the office now. Probably cut to there in a bit. Got some admin to do. This month I've done 3 days training, 3 days training, 3 days training. Or I'm going to do all 3 sets of 3 days training, the same course in different locations, which has left me a whole week and 2 days each week to just get my fucking admin sorted out. I've got loads of bits and bobs going for that. It sounds like I'm constantly in turmoil and sorting stuff out. I am. I've not even sorted out the tools that came back from the solar farm yet. They're in my garage, still waiting to be done. I've got videos to edit. I've got paperwork I'm working on for other jobs. I've got processes and stuff I'm working on for other jobs. I've got to order the meeting for the metering job. You know what I mean? It's quite a bit going off. There's quite a lot of fucking jiggery poker in the self-employed world. So today, I'm going to do a bit of that. Bit more self-employed blog in the office. Going to go through something in a minute, but I'm just going to show you, this space now, I took these tables out of the last employed blog, and it's been really better. Having this big space is really, really good. I've got a little room now because there's a little set there, which has been really, really good. However, the podcast set, which is what I originally got the office for, is now taking up a fucking large amount of space behind this board, but not achieve anything on a daily basis. It's getting used once a week. Now, it needs to stay there because they'll put it in the offices that set is there. But I need to maybe make this set go against that back wall there. So basically that I've got a bigger open space there, because this is just a fucking disaster. So I've got some tidy-ups doing here, but I just want to talk a bit about business and lifestyle. Let me just go into that now. I'm going to go back to the computer and do that, because I need to record something. I can't be fucking bothered. But let me talk to you about lifestyles and businesses. I had a bit of a debate there on Twitter, on LinkedIn with Neil Bridgman, who I like sparring with on LinkedIn. He's got some different opinions to mine, and I like thrashing them out of him, yeah? And he's basically saying, working for someone and being a limited company or being self-employed, there's no difference in the tax. I'd argue there is. I'd argue you're better off limited. However, you might not be if you can't get any fucking work. And as I'll keep going on about and saying over and over again, yeah, if you're on PAYE and you earn some good money, but you hit that 50k tax bracket, you're fucked. Whereas when you're limited, if you start earning over 50k, you pay yourself dividends and all that kind of stuff, yeah? Just going to tell you why it works for me. Some people just need to have PAYE jobs, yeah, because that's what they're good at. Some people need to be self-employed, some people need to be limited, yeah? Here's why I'm a limited company. I have this office. This is my space, yeah? This is where I have computers and things that I'm doing and all my paperwork and my little studio and do my YouTube and do my electrical work and do my teaching and all that. I am just doing what the fuck I want, when I want, how I want. Long may it continue, but like we said on the podcast the other night, things are getting worse. The building trade's getting worse. The construction trade's getting worse. Apparently, there's going to be loads of money spent on... There's loads of money going to be spent on things, and I thought, well, I'll get more into training at the minute, because if the government's what they're going to do and employ loads of people and train people, I'll get a bit of that training money. The reason I like being limited is, this morning, I dropped my kids off at school and nursery. Then I came here and I started doing my shit. In my little space that I've got, I am running a lifestyle business. This outfit suits my lifestyle. Sometimes I want to go out and work. Sometimes I don't want to go out and work. Sometimes I want to sit in the office and edit videos. Sometimes I don't want to sit in the office and edit videos. Sometimes I want to be a Sparky. Sometimes I want to be a tutor. Luckily for me, I've got the experience to do that, and I can deliver on all those things, and I can make a decent living out of it, have all these things that I like playing with and that. If you are an electrician as a job, and you have no interest in the electrical trade outside of doing that, and you don't want to be into the business, you're not into it, don't do what I do. You'll be miserable. Whereas for me, coming down here and doing some video editing, being able to turn around and do some technical work on a computer regarding design or fucking, I don't know, programming, then going to be able to film a YouTube video in there, then going to be able to go outside to a store and do my bits and bobs, that makes me happy. I enjoy my work life. If that wouldn't make you happy, you're in the wrong game. Don't work for work, make work for you. I, for many years, enjoyed being an on-site installation Sparky, banging stuff in, putting ladder rack up, dragging big cables in. I've got a bit older, my knees aren't fucked, but I'm getting a bit older, and now and again, I'm still going to do work like that, like the solar farm video that I'm editing now that I've probably put out. But generally, now I'm trying to kick back a bit and maybe pass my knowledge on. You do you. Depending on where you're at in your career, depends on how that affects you. Whether it's limited, self-employed, whatever. But just for me, my situation, which won't be your situation, being limited is nice because everything I buy for my lifestyle business is an expense. For example, I bought a webcam. It's a business expense. I bought a Samsung tablet for doing the Chevron News stuff. That's a business expense. Some of these things are useful to me in my personal life, but it fucking works for me. If it doesn't work for you, don't do it. Do you. Do what works for you. That's proper business advice in this video. Booyah! Yo, self-employed blog. Right, I'm out on the road. I'm just going over to Stoke. This is the first, this meters job I'm on about. This is the first one I'm doing. So I'm not actually fitting the meters today. The quote's been approved, blah, blah, blah. I've been and seen one of the sites as like a preliminary, which was to base the quote on. The idea being that all the meters are actually the same. They're just fit into a different environment. So I'm just on my way to Stoke to see one of the sites here. And the plan now is, whereas before I was going to maybe turn up and do the jobs, the plan's changed a bit. What we're doing now is I'm going to go and inspect all of the jobs I'm going to make all the equipment up as kits, and then we're going to go and install it on site. It just takes a lot of the fucking around on site out of the equation. So when I've done the maths, it's actually worth me going to each site. So I'm going to Stoke today, a couple of sites in Birmingham tomorrow, in a couple of weeks' time picking up some sites down London, and then I've got one in Northampton to pick up, which I'll pick up as I'm passing. But yeah, I'm going to go and make them all up as kits, so every time I go to the job now, I will have been to the job already and know what needs to be done. This just means I can drastically reduce the amount of tools and shit I'm carrying around, and also because the meters are networked, I can do all the networking stuff at my office and test them all out before we go to site, which basically makes everything fucking loads easier. Because once we're on site, I've got to fit them and forget them. They will already be commissioned as long as they're going to the right places, and it's just getting meter numbers and all that. There's a lot of administration to do with this, getting meter numbers, getting meter readings, blah blah blah. So I'm going to go out now, I'm going to do the first inspection. Just got one booked in today, just in case I need to do anything else. I need to have the 2 tomorrow, and yeah, it's getting rolled out. So yeah, it's just like I say, the electrical part of it's not very hard. The bit I'm getting paid for, the knowledge, is the logistical bit, which is going out there, inspecting them, making the kits, getting all the gear, bringing all the components together. In one of these panels is like a meter, a box, some DIN rail, a back plate, some screws. I bet you there's 300 components in the box time done. I bet each meter or each site requires 300 individual bits to be brought together, which is what I get paid for. So yeah, that's what I'm doing today, and then I've got a bit of training for the rest of the month. Generally, November's just been a load of training and a load of admin for this meters job, and then we'll roll into December and see what happens. So maybe there'll not be much more on this month. Maybe this is about it. I think it might be a long one anyway because I'm ranting, but yeah, it's a don't forget, when you go self-employed, a lot of your time is spent by admin, infrastructure, and the other word that I forgot, which I'll edit in here now, logistics. Bit of a rant coming, yeah, it's going to be on my self-employed blog. We're going to do it here for the benefit of everyone. It's about training and the state of training, not just in the electrical industry, but in another industry I'm going to talk about, and how dire it is, and how bad it is, and how bad it's got, and for some of the reasons why, and things like that. And yeah, I'm going to tell you about training, IR35, and the fact that the government are currently going to do all these things, or they're going to train all these people to all these things, but the actual training industry is dog shit, and the skill set of people is depleting so badly that if not careful, there'll be no one left to train, or no one will want to train, or they'll have to pay silly money. So yeah, let me entertain you on this rant. Let me entertain you. Who said that? Was that Brian Harvey? I think it was. Anyway, let me go. Let me tell you a little story, yeah? I keep my eyes on the emails for all sorts of work, but mainly I keep my eyes on the emails for training work, yeah? The kind of jobs that come through on the agencies for Sparky aren't for me, but the training ones are, right? And I've picked up some good training work that's been beneficial for both me and the client and the people that are doing it, yeah? Because like the worst thing in the world is, one thing I always remember them training is that I'm on the internet. Much as I might not like to admit it, I do get spotted for being that guy off that podcast or YouTube, and not that that's a Billy Big Balls thing, but it keeps me on my toes, because it'll be very easy for someone to go into the comments on a YouTube video and go, yeah, I had this guy on a course and he was fucking bollocks. And am I going to delete that? No, I'm fucking not, because that's someone's personal opinion. I'm fucking ain't deleting it. So I could come to one of my YouTube and go, I am on a course on this time, on this day, and the guy was an absolute fucking penis for these reasons. Anyhow, you know what I mean? If you're going to be on social media shouting your mouth off, if you're going to live by a sword, you've got to die by a sword. So when I'm training or when I'm doing work, I have to make sure I'm doing a fucking good job. I've got my ducks in a row. Otherwise, I sort of go on there and tell everyone what a dick I'm being or what a cunt I am. That's the crack anyway. So I'm not scared of that. Anyhow, I get a call from an agency, and it's a mechatronics job. Now, take a few seconds to explain mechatronics to you. Mechatronics is a mishmash of electronics and mechanical, which is basically a lie, because most mechatronics is not actually electronics, it's electrical. Control panels, factory automation. So, I don't know, you've got a machine at a factory that puts fucking sand into bags and then puts them on a pallet with a robot. That would be classed now as by the educational people as mechatronics. The milling together of mechanical maintenance and engineering with electrical maintenance and engineering, so you can work in like an Amazon warehouse or a piggy factory or somewhere automated. Anyhow, they love to call it mechatronics because education loves to reinvent the wheel, make themselves feel special about doing stuff, yeah? So there's this mechatronics job, and I'm like, that's my bag, yeah? All my life I've done factory automation, industrial automation, picking, packing, palletisation, bagging, all that. I was like, no, that'll do. Want someone 1 day a week. Oh, that'd be nice. Because like, I don't need the fucking money, you know what I mean? I don't need to go and work in FE with a load of fucking kids. But I'm very careful that I do educational content and do college stuff and teach stuff, because one thing people never say to me is, well, what you done? What you done? So I'll just go, well, I taught in a college, like 10 weeks a year. At a minute, I do 10 weeks training a year. So if you right on my arse, mate, you fucking dick. If anyone ever comes to me and says, well, what do you do? I go, do 10 weeks training a year, yeah? And then I'm like, nah, fuck off. Because you can't give it Billy Big Balls about training being crap and not do it. That's why I do 10 weeks for a year. Anyhow, we move on. Anyhow, it's 1 day a week, right? Which is already going to rule out a lot of your normal employees, yeah? Normal PAY employees aren't going to have 1 day a week spared. So you're sort of getting on the verge of needing a specialist contractor already. Anyhow, it rings up. Where is it? Oh, go for all the bollocks. They just won't tell you anything, will they? It's in Nottingham. Great, I'm in Nottingham. That sounds bang on. What experience you got? Well, I've been doing factory automation for fucking best part of 20 years, like production lines, blah, 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 blah. Oh, you're great. Do an interview. Did an interview. Great. Comes to pay me. Got to pay you PAYE. Not a PAYE employee, mate. I'm a very specialist subcontractor. Oh, well, we can't pay you like one because we have to employ you. Fair enough. I want this much a day. So I give them a price for the day rate, yeah? Which is not exorbitant. It's exactly the same as I would get being a Sparky. Because whilst I don't mind doing educational stuff, the simple fact is, yeah, I'm a highly skilled electrical engineer and I want paying like one. I know it's education, right? But I'm not being funny. But these colleges are all businesses. So they needn't get the violin out like they're fucking doing charity work, because they're not. They're all businesses. They're all getting paid per student, yeah? And I want my cut of that. And if you want to go and teach Billy Big Ball specialist mechatronics courses, the unfortunate fact for you guys is you're going to employ Billy Big Ball specialist mechatronics people who then, as well as doing all that, who can earn massive amounts of money in the industry, yeah? I'm going to earn £455 a day in industry doing that shit. No problemo, yeah? PLC code and all that stuff, yeah? But you want to pay me teachers' wages, but you want me to be a mechatronics person, and you want me to have a teacher qualification and ideally have an assessment qualification, which I've got both of. That now puts me in a category in the country of probably 10 people that you want to employ at this moment in time. Skilled in factory maintenance and a teacher as well with all the qualifications. All I ask for this is my normal rate, which is $350 a day. That's the cheapest rate I'll do for anyone, is $350 a day. So I said I want $350 a day on the books, through my limited company. I don't know if we'll be able to do that because it's IR35. I was like, IR35 to stop people working for people like they work for them. This is 1 day a week, part-time. It's already quite a niche subject because you're not going to get many factory automation people that do part-time. Blah, 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 like I know I'm doing da-da-da-da. Anyway, they got me a start date. I filled in loads of forms and stuff. Then very last minute they come and go, oh, we can't pay you as a limited company. Do you want to go PAYE, or otherwise we'll have to leave it? I felt there was a mild threat to it. Now, they're saying I'm not a bona fide subcontractor, but I would argue that if I just went, nah, stick it up your bumhole, that would make me a bona fide subcontractor, because I could pick and choose the work. But they've told me now that I'm employed. So if I was employed, I wouldn't be able to say no. Yeah, what I basically said was, if I told you to fuck off, that would sort of prove that I'm a bona fide subcontractor, wouldn't it? So basically I said, I want $450 a day PAYE, or stick up your bumhole. And at that point, the agency guy had been fucking messaging me constantly, asking me to do this, asking me to do that, blah, 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 blah. Suddenly started ignoring me because he knew we were going to get a fucking end out of it. I was like, you fucking don't darken my door again. But I've got to say, yeah, right, and this is going to be controversial. If you want to train people to train on mechatronics, industry, factory automation, you need people from that industry. Well, I'm not being rude, but people who work in that kind of industry are on good fucking money. And why the fuck would they want to give up their time to go and work in a college teaching fucking kids to do it, are probably gobbing off at them on a daily basis for less money than they're on? It's not going to happen. Here's a simple message to colleges, education establishments, trainers, the government, anyone, yeah? You might have had a load of electrical lecturers in your college for 10, 15, 20 years, yeah? They are out of touch. right? They might be great at what they do, they might be okay at other sides because they ain't changed, but regarding actual work-wise, they're out of touch. You cannot train them to teach mechatronics because they cannot speak from any industry kind of experience, which is what people learning need and want. Your days of paying £35,000 for a college lecturer and then maybe 40 if someone does assessing are over. You need to interest people from industry. And if it's 1 day a week, you expect to give up 1 day a week work in industry, I'll probably double to come and work for you for nothing. And then when people like me are willing to do it because they like to pass on the knowledge, you basically go, oh, you're not a bona fide subcontractor. I'm coming in as a fucking subcontractor, you dozy bastard. If those organisations don't respect that the knowledge they want to be given has been hard earned by people and then needs to be paid for to get it back, we're going to have a big problem in another fucking 10 years when all there is about is Part P domestic 5-day wonder Sparkies and no one's out to do industrial maintenance, yeah? Amazon and the likes then will stop building big flash warehouses if there's no one to maintain them. And it's a simple fact. You are not going to encourage colleges to teach, and the people that they get to do this stuff in colleges, probably just reading it off a board and don't know what they're on about. It's just not going to work. IR35 needs fucking off. To encourage people in industry, actually work in industry, to go into colleges and training establishments and do training as well as doing hands-on work. That way you're getting the benefit of the actual live experience and what's going off now, not someone's fucking memories of what it was like 25 years ago. Also, there's plenty of college tutors that aren't electricians, aren't electrical, or have been doing it 20 years and they're out of touch, like I say. But that does not cut it in the fast-moving world of factory automation. So until colleges and establishments say, right, we will take people from industry, we will take them a couple of days a week, we will give them a fair recompense for their time, knowing full well they can go and earn more money outside of it, there's going to be a big problem. Not that bothered about that job. I'll ride it out because I know in 6 months' time they'll be fucking ringing up and begging people to work for them, because the more colleges that offer mechatronics without the people to fill the jobs, the more they'll pay. But we're out for the weekend, last one of the month, but I'll talk about it next month. I'm at the Royal School of Military Engineering to learn some electrical shit, or more than I don't know, but yeah, this will be the end now. It's the last day of the month, but I might show you around in the next month's vlog. See you later.